Hi, welcome to another Minecraft survival skills video. So today I want to show you an upgrade that I did to the mob farm. That was a pretty popular video and I know some of you are starting to build it. So whether you built it or not, you might want to see this. I had to change my old farm over to this design and it was pretty easy to do. So even if you've already built it, you might want to take a look at this. So I made it a different design. It's about the same size as the old one, but I made a dark room in there. The old one was open in the front. Remember how it was open here? If you don't remember or you haven't seen the video, you can go look at that video. It was open right here, and then the killing pit was right here, and I had to run inside the farm to get the mobs to come out and chase me, and then they would drop into the pit right there, and then I could go down and whack them to get the loot. So that's how the old one worked, and it was great. It was a lot of fun, and it was really good for farming ender pearls because I didn't even have to go into the farm. All I had to do was stand right here and look at the endermen, and they would come to me. And I've got plenty of ender pearls to go to the find the fortress and light up the end portal now. Now this farm gives me ender pearls as well. I've got, like, I don't know, 20 ender pearls out of it with this new design. So it's a darker room, and what kind of inspired this was I noticed, like, at night, like right now, you know, the old farm design, I was standing out in the desert at night and I died more than once from staying out here too late and not sleeping. So I decided to close this in so that I could work the farm at night if I wanted to. And I just put some basics in here, a bed. And the reason the bed's floating is because these are all bottom slabs. I don't want anything spawning in here. And then I've moved the killing pit down to here, and I put some magma in here. You don't need magma here, but I've already been to the nether, and I'll show you that in another video. Done some fun stuff in the nether, but I got some magma. That's one of the first things I did because it's so handy for doing mob farms, and I used the magma to reduce the wear and tear on my sword, because now the mobs drop down onto the magma and I can just it's like one hit to kill them. So I put magma in there, and then I ran the AFK spot right up out of the middle of the farm so that it's all self-contained now. Now these things here are just little portals to look into the farm, but I don't really use them because the mobs can sense me right through the wall. And I really don't want to start any skeleton wars in there, because when the skeletons start shooting at each other, when they see me and try and shoot me, sometimes they accidentally shoot each other. Then they start warring in there, and if there's a creeper in there and he gets caught in the crossfire, the creeper can get mad and blow up the farm. So I just put that there so that I can check light levels and stuff inside the farm. But once I've got things working, I don't really have a need to open that. Now this, I'll show you what's going on with this in a minute. Normally I have this blocked off to keep things nice and dark in there, but I knocked these blocks out of the way so that we can go inside. And this is always a little bit iffy because I want to make sure there's nothing in here. Okay, let's put some light in here so you can see. So this is the killing area. I mean, not the killing area, but this is the spawning area now. In the old farm, this I had a much larger floor, but what I found with that farm was that all the mobs tended to collect in the darkest part of the farm, which was in the back here. So I figured, why not, you know, let's make this a smaller area. I also want to crowd them into this smaller area so that when I come down the AFK ladder, they can sense me through that wall and they'll step off into this pit on their own without me having to open those trapdoors. So I made this 7 blocks in this direction. I could have gone 8. I just made this one 7 because I put the spider protection in, and I only want 2 blocks between this pad and the back wall. If you want to take these pads out, you well, actually, with this style of farm, we'd have to modify the killing pit to get spiders, but you could do it. You could take these pads out, and you can get spiders in here. And if you wanted to give yourself a little extra room, you could take out this back wall, but it's not really necessary. You would get tons of spiders in here. We would have to make the killing pit. We'd have to modify it, actually. This isn't really a very good spider farm. Do a spider spawner. Find one in an abandoned mine shaft, and I have one a spider farm that I can show you. Actually, I have 2 that I can show you. One is super simple and cheap. The other one's slightly more expensive, but it works really well. So if you want spiders, I would suggest you go that way. So I've got these spider pads in here, and if I want to put dispensers in here later to auto flush the farm, I made it 7 wide, or you can make it 8 wide, and you can see that the water will just push them out into the pit. So you would run water all along this back wall. You would use dispensers along this back wall, and you could just automatically flush everything off this floor into the pit. So it's 7 or 8 in that direction, and then I went 16 in this direction. So starting here, just count over 16, and it would just seem like a nice size to keep things crowded in here. So let's knock out the torches, and then I wanted to show you something. If you look at the light levels in here, you see where it says client light. If you go down there and look, it'll say client light. Right underneath that it says server light. Look at client light, and then look at the block light level. You can see that the block that I'm looking at is a 0 block, so it's 0 light on that block. And as we move towards the door, you can see that I start to pick up some light from the door. I'm at a 1 block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is still a 6 block. It's less than 7, so mobs are going to spawn on that block, no problem. So I don't really have to block this door off, but in order to really, I just want everything to be a 0 block in there. Excuse me, this thing is annoying. I just block the door completely off. So now I should have a 0 level inside the farm. And something I should mention, you see how the sun's high in the sky, we're fine. With this design here, you can work it at night. But if you're going to do that, you want to put torches like this all the way around the farm. And just to give you the short, simple version, these torches are spaced 8 blocks apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that I would go out even further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least this far away from the farm. And then to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I haven't finished it yet, but I would do an array of torches all the way around the farm, so that if I'm working it at night, the mobs are not spawning out here in the desert around the farm. When I'm AFK up there, it's only going to sense me for mob spawning purposes. It's only going to sense about this much of the ground around the farm, about this far away from the farm. So I only need to light it up out to about there, and it should be fine. But you definitely want to light it up at least out to where I just said, because if you don't, you'll get mobs spawning out on the desert, or out on, if you're in a plains biome or wherever, they'll be spawning around your farm on the surface, and they won't be spawning in your farm. So with that lit up, I'm still using a ladder right now, but now this can be a water elevator. I've got a Silk Touch pickaxe, and I have an ice farm that I can show you later. I've got a really nice ice farm design. It's super simple, and you get tons of ice from it. And it's ice is really good for building water elevators. It saves you a million trips up and down the ladder with a bucket. So that's why I haven't done an a water elevator yet. It's because I didn't have a Silk Touch pickaxe, but I finally got one. So this can be turned into a water elevator quite easily, and I might do a video on how to build one of those. So you just come up the ladder, you come up your water elevator, and you can hang out up here for a little bit, let things spawn down there in the dark room, and then we'll go down and see what we got. So you really don't have to be up here this long. Let's drop down and let's see what we've got going on in the inside here on the magma. So you can see that we already had a few things drop. Now if I want some XP, I have to put at least one hit on these guys to get the XP. And but if I don't care about the XP, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is hang out down here. They're sensing me through the wall. They can't see me, but they know I'm here, and they'll come toward me, and they'll eventually finish their magma dance, and I can pick up the drops. So I'll just let that happen for a little bit here. See, we're getting really good drop rates. There were lots of mobs in there, even though I reduced the spawning floor size. Plenty, and I get Endermen in here too. I've got lots of Ender Pearls from this farm. And I don't have to stand under the overhang or any of that stuff. They just, for some reason, they're not smart enough to teleport away from the magma. They'll drop in here and they'll hop up and down and they'll teleport away, but then they teleport back and drop their Ender Pearls in here. So this is all I do. I just go back and forth. Now again, this doesn't have to be magma. It could just be solid blocks, and you could just be doing all this with your sword. The magma just saves wear and tear on your sword. And you can use the magma to automate the collection by running a minecart under the magma, but I'm not going to worry about that for right now. I'm getting all I need from this farm. Now to get these drops in the back, you don't have to break any of these blocks. All you have to do is take a water bucket and just splash water against the back wall, and it'll flush everything forward to you, and you just pick it up. It'll just flush it right into your inventory. Sometimes I see stuff laying on the ground, so just pick it up off the ground if it got flushed onto the ground. And that's it. Now I put these little portals in here just out of curiosity. You should not really have to open these, but if you want to see inside the farm, just be careful, because you don't want to get any kind of like a skeleton war going on in there, because it'll cause explosions. So I can see one creeper. If I open the trapdoor, he'll see me and come forward. There's no real need to do this, because you're only going to get a couple more drops this way, and you risk blowing up your farm. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. But if you look inside, see, there's nothing in there. So it's pretty efficient, even without flushing things. It cleared the farm. I got pretty much every mob that was in the farm, and I didn't have to do a thing. So I think that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. Let me put the drops in the chest here. So I got 6 gunpowder, and I think I had 5 arrows when I started. I only need a couple because I've got an infinity bow. So I got a bunch of arrows, and let's see, no zombie flesh that time. I got bones. One thing about the desert farm is you don't get as much zombie flesh, so it's good if you don't want zombie flesh. Consider building your farm in a desert, because zombies don't spawn as much in the desert as they do other places. So I think that's it. So if you like the video, please click the like button. I always look for comments. I'm interested in, if you've done the farm, how did it work for you? And let me know about the level of detail and the pace of the videos and things like that, how I can make the videos better. And I'm always looking for ideas for what you want to see. And then if you want to be notified of future videos, please click the subscribe button. And go take a look at my playlist. I have a lot of other farms on the playlist, and I have many more things planned for the future. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.